When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. Everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this.
Morning guys, welcome back to the vlogs. Back in the Gold Coast. If you haven't heard, there's like a cyclone coming here. I'm meant to head here tomorrow, so never really been through a cyclone before, but we'll see how we go. But I'm just heading towards Palm Beach now. I'm going to do a speed session. Got intervals in there. 2K warm up, 100 meters, 200, 300, 400, 300, 200, 100, and then a cool down. So looking forward to doing the session. Haven't really done this as part of the training program yet. Theoretically, I should be heading towards a gym, a track, but I'm just going to do it on some roads around Palmy where they're nice and flat and hopefully dodging the wind. So that's kind of like the main part, but we'll start doing these sessions on track pretty soon. Hopefully drag some people on to do it with me. But just got back from Bali yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a slow one. Had just a 5-kilometer run on the treadmill. Felt yuck, but hopefully this session I feel a little bit better. And Bali was cool. It was cool to just go over there and chill out for a couple of days. Obviously the couple of days at the wedding were big, and just with everybody, and it's good to link back up with, obviously everyone's seen the video of Scope. Just a good catch up with him and see his baby as well, Lenny. I haven't seen Lenny since she was probably like a month old. So she's like a 2-year-old kid now and bouncing around. So no, it's cool. It's cool to just sort of let that part of your life go and let that anger that you had towards someone go. And when we were just sort of hanging out, it's just like it's honestly just like old times, eh? So I sort of felt like nothing had really happened. But yeah, I'm just glad it's all done, to be honest. And watch Norms get married, the bachelor of all bachelors. Watch him get married and be so happy about it, and see how happy his mum was, old Sando. So no, it was cool. And then obviously to just lean back up before the boys, like I said, like Chico, Norms, Blake, they're like a big part of my 20s. Scope, all those guys were such big parts of like mid-20s to now. It's just cool to all just hang out again, you know. And like I said before, like life happens and people get married and go have kids, and like you just don't hang out as much. You just start to really enjoy those types of moments too. But yeah, just heading towards Palm Beach now. I'm just going to head out towards the back part and do some training. Quaid's house is here too, so I'm just going to quickly check in on Quaid's house just to see if I need to put anything away for the Cyclone. So apparently we're just meant to put anything that's loose, like rubbish bins and stuff, on the inside, or somewhere safe. So he's still in Japan, just checking in on his house. All right, morning speed session done. It was pretty good. Probably could have tracked or ran a little bit quicker. It's probably the first time I've done that style of running on the road. I was running in the Asics Magic Speed. They've got this carbon thing on the inside. Fuck, makes running feel like a pleasure. Coming off the Super Blast, like Super Blast are mad, don't get me wrong, but for your long runs. But when you move to like these shoes, you just feel like so much lighter and quicker, and you just bounce off the concrete. So pretty good session. I think it was only about 35 minutes. Obviously moving in a quicker pace during those intervals, but it was good. I think those are the sessions that are meant to make you better and get used to running at a quicker cadence. So I really enjoyed it. Just heading home now. I'll go home. Normally would have a swim and a coffee, but it's starting to rain and I think it's a little bit too rough to get in the water. So I'll just go home, grab Mallow, we'll just go grab a coffee somewhere, and then just start ripping into the day. So first part of my day would be YKTR. Obviously got some tech packs I need to send off and improve some design, so that's where we're at for today. And then 9 o'clock I have a meeting with Basketball Forever. So I'm going to be doing like the production management for them. I've seen their impressions and their data in the back end of like all their social media. Fuck, they've got a crazy amount of impressions. That meeting usually goes for about half an hour. We just catch up and starting to plan out photo shoots and stuff like that as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And the direction of that, it's probably taken about 3-4 months since I announced that was going to happen. For us to get to a point where we're almost at manufacturing now. So we just really wanted to take our time with it. Obviously when you look at Basketball Forever's content, it's super polished. So you just want the production for that, or the manufacturing for the clothes for that, to match that as well. So it's sort of chopped and changed a few times over the months, and it's taken its time, but I think it's been a good thing. I think it's been necessary, because when I'm starting to look at the stuff now, it looks pretty great. So, and it feels like them. I think when I was designing for them, it sort of felt like us a bit still, YKTR, but we want it to feel and be authentic to them. And then that will take me about to 9:30, 10. I'll go back into YKTR and do some more stuff. And then after that, I'm heading towards Broadbeach to meet with Jai Opetaia's media team. I've got that role there to just be like a content consultant for them. Like, I built out all the structure, who Jai is, who his target audiences, YouTube strategy, TikTok strategy, Instagram strategy. I don't think a lot of people realize I do this on the side stuff, so I'll sort of invite you into that part of the world. But just building all that stuff out for Jai and his team, and obviously if you're into boxing, Jai's like on the rise right now. He's been having some pretty good fights. So just implementing structure around him so we can build his media up, build his social presence up, and then obviously after that, like, fights start to sell themselves and brand deals start to get a little bit bigger, because he can, like, everyone already knows he can box, and he's got a cool style, and he's unapologetic about who he is and what he stands for, which I think is fucking so cool about him. And then it's just like, how do we package it, push it out towards media or social media so we can increase his brand awareness, and then therefore once you got brand awareness or a bigger personal brand, you get so much leverage from that. And the hard part's already done. He's already a fucking good boxer. So really cool fighting style, obviously just knocks people out. His interview style's been pretty, like, it's just him, bro. So he's, the thing with Jai is, like, he is going to be who he is, but like, how do you build the media infrastructure around him to get there? So it's been pretty cool to do this type of stuff. Like, you don't sort of realize how much knowledge you have in the space until you sit into boardrooms and have conversations. And like, even before that stuff with the All Blacks, like, imagine like the All Blacks approached me last year to do the same type of role for them, to sit on top of, like, not on top of their media team, but just to be the support for the videographers, to build structure around their app. But it's just cool to sit in meetings and realize you got something of value to offer bigger organizations or bigger personalities. So it's definitely something I want to do more. And yeah, I don't know, I think that stuff kind of comes a little bit easier to me just because we've made 10 years of content. You know, YKTR's been at it, and I'll say this inconsistently, like, if we just stayed vlogging, or if I stayed podcasting consistently over that time, individually I could have been so much better. But obviously all the YKTR sports stuff, and like, even like Jackson taking like the model and moving it over to the Warriors, and Warriors have probably got one of the better social media teams at the moment. Scope and Mace taking like the sports shows and flip it into levels, and they're like one of the biggest platforms. So I understand the model works, and it constantly changes over time, and I think I've got an okay eye for that, and it's just about implementing that for other people as well. So that's been cool. It's been cool I spent probably about 2 hours last night doing all Jai stuff, but I'll go in there with probably 25-page document that they can print out and use as a brand guide. And then that'll keep fleshing out more and more, and then just building systems, and then just go try and execute. So that's the plan for today. And then we'll come back home, chill out for a little bit, for about an hour or two, and then I've got leg weights in the afternoon down that neighborhood. Haven't trained weights down there since last week, so was doing a little bit of work over in Bali, so I don't feel too bad. But that's the day, man. Good start to the morning. All right, just about to jump in the meeting. First time wearing a hoodie this year. Normally walking around topless around the Gold Coast, but you can feel the storm starting to come on, or the cyclone starting to come on. Bit of a shift in weather, but it should be a crazy couple of days, to be honest. I don't know if I'm fully prepared for it. I think I should go grab some stuff. If you look around all the supermarkets, everyone's been taking all the toilet paper and water, so might go grab some supplies today for the next couple of days. But yeah, just waiting for this meeting. Normally on this we just talk about designs and sort of supply chains. Like I sort of said in the car, it's sort of taken a while to get to this point, but we just want to make sure the infrastructure is very strong before going out and launching or going to market. So it should be a good meeting. These usually go for about half an hour. And then I've got a design meeting for an hour or two, and then got the meeting with Jai and his crew at 12:30. So pretty productive morning. Obviously training this morning, and just want to keep food up. Just had rolled oats for brekkie, so keep the brain firing. Well, hopefully anyway. Yeah, easy. That's basically what I do with other brands as well. If we get that in place off the bat and we know who we are as a brand and who we're targeting after that, it just makes everything so much clearer, even just in terms of delivery of like messaging and shit like that. Yeah, for sure. Maybe if we push that out to like a 3-month window where we could be online, or maybe 4-month window, which gives us a bit of time to make him, cut him, to get him over here. It wouldn't take too long. But then like that time and energy for that just gets taken away from the first 3 things. So I think those should be like the main focus for us. But yeah, like 4 months would be sweet. And then we'll sort of be right in the middle of winter here / going into winter over there. And it's the shape of them a little bit. This is like a different hood we use at the moment. It's kind of designer quality. Probably the clear differences is like that hoodie that you have cuts off here, where this one's a drop shoulder. And then the armhole's a lot bigger as well. But this is French terry fabric, but this stuff would hold the reeves, all those designs a lot better on it, just because the weight of it. Because the one that you've got from us, it's got like a feel, like polyester feel in it, so it's like softer and smoother. Where I don't know how well it would hold a graphic on the front of it. I don't think it would look as vintage as it. Those will still work, but we'll just have to build in the wash back. So if you look at this, there's like cracks and shit in it. You have to build that in through the artwork. Mm-hmm. It's built in through the artwork and not the technique of the printing, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, so Matt should be able to do that like quite easy. But if you just want it to look bold and strong, that'll be easy, bro.
Yeah. Print one.
Yeah, do you like that fit?
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, sweet. We can just roll with that. Can you see that? It doesn't show up that well, but it looks like vintage and washback here. Possible. I'll get a couple t-shirts made, and then I'll get strike offs for the other one. So a strike off is like they just get the piece of fabric, cut it like that. They don't put together a whole hoodie. Then that way we can just save some more money as well. So we're not just
for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like this stuff's working at the moment because like I'm talking, but like there's a lot of movement around me. They call it like a visual hook. An example, so like a visual hook might be like if there's a camera in front of me right now talking like this, but like I'm like grabbing stuff, somehow it captures the people's eye. You'll see a lot of people do it now, where they'll hook you in with a certain prop or something random because visually you're watching it, and then when you see a lot of content now, it'll be split in half. It'll be like the guy talking, then on the side there might be a video car racing down, and like it keeps your attention there.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So, and like this is why this content, like, it feels like you're a part of the journey, but there's a lot of movement hanging around the outside. And there'll be times where for about 30 seconds, I'm not even talking. But the whole thing about YouTube is about retention. So that little red part down here, the longer people can watch, the more views you're going to get over time. Because what YouTube does is like, say, 5,000 people have watched it for 18 minutes. There's great watch time there. We're going to push it out towards more people. And probably the next part I can help him out with is his thumbnails. So they weren't that great. So if you think we're trying to tap into new markets, like these are my ones compared to some other people that have gone to Bali, like probably my ones stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And same thing, it's like I'm taking up the billboard.
Yeah.
Like imagine having the billboard and you're paying for that and you put your face down the bottom left.
Yeah.
Like who gives a fuck? So this is probably more stuff for Terrence a little bit later, but probably the first thing we could do is get him building an intro to like the same thing that I've got up there. What's it called? Like I think one of the most cool things about Jai is like his eyes, like the stare. What's the piece of Jai?
That's
his eyes.
It's 100%.
Yeah, and you remember that movie Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah.
So like I reckon even if they got to the end of the intro and they said like the eyes never lie, Chico, like I think that'd be like a strong finish for him. Just stuff like that, and then obviously we can just tap into all the things that he likes.
And it's funny, Nelly, every single person I speak to is like, man, that guy's fucking eyes are fucking scary.
When I was
and they're so fucking relaxing, but then they just change, and it's just
when I was in there on my own with them, it's like there's a pit bull in the room, but you don't know if you know the pit bull or not. Am I friends with this fucking pit bull or not? That's what it feels like, bro. And then obviously like the vlog structure that we just talked about. So hook, what's the best part of the thing? So say he's got a fight coming up, and we'll be like, what do you think about this fight? We can put really cool music behind it, and it just stops. So when people see a cool thumbnail, a cool title, a cool intro, they're most likely to get towards the back end of the vlog.
Yeah, so then you set up these sort of little teasers to start with, and then sort of just the punch at the end. And
Yeah,
Tony. I sent that to Tony and Jai just as a
yeah. You probably like ideally if you can get two of them, one for each of the boys.
Yeah.
And it makes filming a little way easier because bro, it's not even that big, bro.
How much are they?
Probably about 800. And like two things it solves. One, it basically gives you two cameramen because Jai can film walking around, and we can always plug that content in because that content might be the stuff that really fires.
Yeah.
And then the second part, it stabilizes your cameras as well, so you're going to get a smoother look.
Could he get one of these in Thailand pretty easy? Like I'm just looking.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know.
He probably. Yeah, I'm just looking at all this. Like again, for me, thinking about where we're trying to get to at the moment and what's been happening over in Thailand, I'm sitting here going, man, we're just missing out on so much fucking shit.
And I was like, I went to Bali for a wedding. I made 3 vlogs. I knew like people love Bali content, and one of them, this one here, I'm just eating. Like I go to a place and just eat. Do you know who Spenyon is?
No.
Oh, so basically he's built his whole profile on YouTube. And he just walks around, travels around the world, and his vlogs go for like 2-3 hours, and he's just gone bang. He's just blown up.
There'll be days like this